Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is June 18th, 2024, and La Liga have officially released their fixtures for the 2024-2025 season. Also, we now know the exact price that will cost Barcelona for Angelo Stiller. And finally, Mika Faye could be the first one to leave Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kit bag. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. Both links are down below in the description, and if you click on them, you do get access to some pretty cool offers and deals. Now I'll begin this video as usual by covering Barcelona players who are currently participating in the Euros 2024, because today both Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo's Portugal defeated the Czech Republic 2-1 with a late goal by Conceição. And I know I've said that I will cover Barcelona players, and yes, Joao Cancelo and Joao Felix are both on loan, but technically they are still Barcelona players until June 30th. Now, one curious thing about today's match is that Joao Felix did not start or play a single minute in the Euros, so it seems that the Portugal coach is also not counting on this player. And I say it's interesting because yesterday during the podcast, some people were saying that Joao Felix and a quote is criminally underrated. But yet this player has failed at Atletico Madrid, he has failed at Chelsea, he has failed at Barcelona, he's not even playing for his national team, and there isn't a single offer for him currently in the market. So if that's being criminally underrated, then I don't know what would a regularly rated player would look like. But anyways, more talks about the Euros, because as you know, yesterday Jules Koundé's France defeated the Austria 1-0 in an unconvincing match. And they bring this up again, even though I did report about it in yesterday's podcast, because in the stands, Heiko Westerman was watching Koundé. As you know, I reported before that Hansi Flick was only going to be in Barcelona for a few days doing work, which was last week. And then he was going to leave in order to watch the Euro matches because he wants to watch Barcelona players in action. He might also be watching players that the club could be signing in the summer, and it seems that Hansi Flick is fulfilling that promise. And even though he wasn't personally at the stadium, his assistant Heiko Westerman was in the stands watching Koundé, who once again did a good job as a right back. And I think, and this is my personal opinion, I think if Koundé stays open to playing in that position, I think he could easily become one of the best right backs in Europe. Now, more news, because La Liga have officially released next season's fixtures, and now we know who will Barcelona face off at the beginning of the season, and it will be Valencia on the weekend of August 18th. And I gotta say, I'm very, very, very excited for the season to begin. I'm very excited to see what the team will look like under Flick. And I'm very excited to see whether we're going to have new signings and how those signings and how the current players will perform under the German coach. Now, one interesting thing I noticed about the fixtures is that between the months of August and November, La Liga have scheduled a total of 9 away matches for Barcelona and only 5 home matches. And I'm wondering whether this was La Liga helping out Barcelona. There were some reports saying that La Liga will try to help Barcelona by scheduling as many away matches as possible at the beginning of the season, which is when Barcelona will be playing at Montjuic. And Barcelona are set to go back to the Camp Nou by December. So I wonder if this was La Liga helping out Barcelona, scheduling all their away matches at the beginning so Barcelona can have as many home matches as possible at the Camp Nou, or whether this was just a coincidence. I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts, so let me know down below. Now, we also got to talk about the 2 most important fixtures of that season, and probably 2 of the most important fixtures in the entire world of football, because we now know the day of El Clásico matches, where Barcelona will face off against Real Madrid on October 27th, and that will be at the Santiago Bernabeu, with the second match being pretty late in the season. I was surprised, you know, usually the second leg is around March, but this time it will be May 11th, and it will be played at home, and hopefully it will be played in the newly renovated Spotify Camp Nou. Now, more news, because we do have to talk about Angelo Stiller, the guy who can smell danger, the guy who knows how to play in the midfield, and the guy who will leave you breathless. The 23-year-old center midfielder who Hansi Flick has requested his signing. Angelo Stiller came up through the Bayern Munich Academy. He played under Flick. In fact, it was Flick who gave him his Champions League debut. And as such, Hansi Flick has requested the signing of Stiller because he believes he can fulfill that profile of the double pivot that Hansi Flick likes to play with. As you know, the German coach does not play with the typical Barcelona pivot. He likes a double pivot, two pivots who are very mobile, who can cover a lot of ground. And Flick believes that Angelo Stiller could fulfill one of those double pivot roles. And as such, he had requested that Barcelona sign him. And we now know his official price, which is pretty steep. It's 50 million euros. Now, Angelo Stiller is a very important player for his current club, Stuttgart. Stuttgart are not in a hurry to get rid of him. They have no need to sell him. And as such, they would rather keep the player. But if they do have to sell him, since they don't want to, they are reportedly asking for 50 million euros, which this, of course, puts this operation out of reach for Barcelona, unless Barcelona can make some important sales. But for now, as of today, June 18, 2024, it looks like Angelo Stiller is getting away from Barcelona. Now, speaking of players getting away from Barcelona, we do have to talk about Mika Faye, because it's looking like he could be the first player on his way out. Now, as you know, Deco was the one who decided to bet on Mika Faye. He would like Barcelona to continue betting on him, and he would like Mika Faye to eventually play in the first team. But unfortunately, because Barcelona do have a lot of center backs, they have 5 center backs currently on the first team, most likely Mika Faye will not be getting much minutes. And given his agent's insistence that Mika Faye be guaranteed a spot on the first team, both Deco and Mika Faye's agent have reached an agreement that if the club do receive an offer north of 15 million euros, that they would agree to sell the player but include a buyback clause, because Barcelona do not want to get rid of the player forever. They want to keep tabs on him, and they want to hope to count on him in the future. And as such, Barcelona are reportedly considering selling Mika Faye to Porto, who have offered north of 15 million euros. And today it's reported that Mika Faye's agent was seen meeting with Deco in Barcelona, and the rumors are that it was to discuss the Porto offer. But the problem is that Porto are insisting that they don't want a buyback clause. They want to buy the player for 15 million euros, maybe reach 20 million euros with variables, but they don't want a buyback clause. They want to keep the player. And this, of course, is non-negotiable for Barcelona, because Barcelona want to be able, or at least have the option, to recover the player down the road. We'll see what will happen. Of course, Mika Faye does have offers from over a dozen clubs, but Deco was negotiating with Porto because he does have a very good relationship with their president. We'll see what comes out of this, and we'll see what will happen. Anyways, that is all for this video. I will be uploading another video in a little bit, so stay tuned to the channel. For now, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. And as always, peace, Barça.